These are the biggest box office flops of 2023.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to discuss the biggest box office flops or the movies that bombed this year. According to my count, they are 23. Yes, 23 major movies that you may or may have not heard about that failed at the box office. And when we talk about bombing or flopping, I mean that if it was a small release, it didn't double its budget, and if it was a big release, it didn't get more than double. So it has to, if it's a small movie, it has to get ×2. If it's a big movie, it has to get ×2.5, around there, because of marketing and what the theaters take so that it can make a profit. All right, without further ado, let's begin. The first movie on my list is 65. 65, the Adam Driver sci-fi movie that most of you probably don't know about. I also never went to watch it. It had a budget of 45 million and it only got 60 million at the box office. That's not double, that's less than double. So RIP to that one. That one failed at the box office. Next up, we have No Hard Feelings 2023. This is the Jennifer Lawrence movie. Apparently it is a ex-comedy.
I'm sexy and I know.
I didn't watch it. What failed this movie?
Hi. Mind if I touch your wiener?
What?
Your dog.
Probably the marketing. The budget was 45 million. It only got 87 million. This is a small movie. This isn't like a really big release, but it didn't even make even double. So budget was 45 million, only made 87 million. This one I would blame the marketing, because I only got to know about this movie because I think someone reacted to it on their channel. I didn't know about it. Next up has to be Renfield. Renfield is the vampire movie that has Nicolas Cage. Didn't watch it, so I would say even this one is marketing. The budget was 65 million and it only made 26 million. God, that is one huge bomb. Wa la 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 la, and it has Nicolas Cage in it. It's a action comedy horror. Never watched it. I think this one is the market, honestly, because I only heard of it when I was researching. Maybe one review, someone posting a review somewhere, but I don't think it really got the buzz that really took it up. I mean, that's Nicolas Cage, so it should have gotten some attention, but no. Next up, we have Wish. Yeah, I reviewed Wish on my channel. Wish, very recent movie from Disney. This one is just a bad movie. I can't believe this is the movie that Disney claims they're using to celebrate 100 years of Disney animation. The budget was around 200 million. The box office was 126 million. And it's Disney. I mean, if big budget companies can't even double, I mean, yeah, that one is a huge flop. This one, the story was just bad. You should check out my review when you're done with this video. The story was just bad. It was uncompelling. It was not creative. It's not what I expect from Disney at all. Next up, we have Napoleon. I'm not doing this in any order. I'm just doing them randomly, really. Napoleon 2023, the movie about the French emperor. This one had a budget of 200 million and only made 188 million. I saw a lot of people very angry at this one. This one is a 2023 epic historical drama. Yeah, but a lot of people who reviewed it said that it was trash because of the inaccuracies. Some people say that it needed a longer cut. Apparently, when it's going to be released online, there's going to be a 4-hour cut because there's no way you can cover Napoleon's life in just 2 hours. I think the movie was 2 hours 30 minutes. So apparently there's a 4-hour cut that's supposed to be released. Also, historical inaccuracies. Also, the depiction of Napoleon was not good. So probably, I think some of these or most of these failed because of bad word of mouth or lack of word of mouth. So yeah. Next up, The Marvels. Yeah, that one I reviewed it on this channel. And for those of you who still believe, oh, The Marvels was receiving hate, it was just hate, I reviewed why it's getting bad reviews. It's not because of women and hate. It is simply because it's a badly made film. It's badly stitched up, badly edited, bad CGI, bad story, characters you don't care about. The budget was what? 274 million. It had reshoots. So 274 million. The box office was just 204 million. Yeah, that movie is ass, bro. There's no way you can convince me otherwise. The more I try to rewatch it, the more I just think about it, the worse it gets. Like, I once watched a reviewer who showed this clip of Darben jumping from somewhere, and he asked, "Can Darben even fly?" Like, I had not even thought about that when I was watching the movie. God, what a terribly written movie. Terribly written. I have a review for it. You can check it out after this video. Next up, Killers of the Flower Moon, a movie that had a big director, big actors. It has Leonardo DiCaprio. It has Martin Scorsese as director. What was the budget? 200 million. What was the box office? 156. It didn't even double. I would say maybe a bit of marketing issue, because it didn't, in my opinion, it didn't get the push that it should have gotten. But also, this movie is like 3 hours and something. The runtime is obnoxious. It's what? 3 hours what? It's 206 minutes. That's what? That's 3 hours and 20 minutes. That's long. Like, I honestly would not put myself through that length. Feel free to comment below and tell me why you think a certain movie flopped. If you feel like there's a movie I mentioned and you feel there's a different reason why it flopped, you can comment below. But this one, I would say maybe marketing, because it had the right director, it had a great actor. So why did it flop? I would say that runtime. There's no way I'm going to go sit for 3 hours and something to watch that film, and it's not like a major IP. I can get Avatar, Way of Water being 3 hours, but Killers of the Flower Moon, I don't know much about it. So yeah, I would not go to watch it personally because of that crazy ass runtime. But I heard that it was a good film. The people who reviewed it said that it was good. Anyway, you can give me your thoughts on that one. Next up, The Creator. Yeah, The Creator didn't get as much marketing, in my opinion, but also for the reviews that I saw for this film, they said that it's just one of those stories that you've seen before. The story apparently in The Creator is just like The Last of Us. It also has a bit of like Logan, like adult man trying to rescue small girl, something like that. They go on a journey where they end up liking each other, something like that. The budget was 80 million. It only got 104. That's not even double. I heard that it was a good film for those who enjoyed it, just the story. I mean, it's something that you've seen before. Next up, The Expendables. Yeah, this one, I didn't even see one positive review for this one. Did not even see one positive review for this one. I'm assuming it's because, it should have just stopped at Expendables 3. The budget for this one was 100 million, only made 51 million.
Ouch.
This one I heard was pretty bad. The cast cannot be compared with the one for Expendables 1 or Expendables 2. Also, it's part of a franchise that should have just ended, so RIP to that one. Next up, Blue Beetle. This one flopped. Whether you think it's a good movie or it's a bad movie is all up to you. Budget was 104 million, only made 129 million. Yeah, this one flopped because I did a movie reaction for this one, for Blue Beetle. In my opinion, this one was an amalgamation of stuff you've seen before. It was like Black Panther meets Iron Man meets some other like stuff that you've seen before. So also Blue Beetle isn't like a really big name, in my opinion. As a normie of DC, let me say, as a normie of DC, someone who isn't very like deep into DC, I'm not familiar with Blue Beetle. I know things like Green Lantern, The Martian, Joker, Batman, Superman, Flash. But Blue Beetle, to me, I think this was the first time I heard of Blue Beetle when this movie released. So, but even when I watched it, I was like, that's like Iron Man, that's like Black Panther, that's like this, I was like, it's just a bunch of stuff I've seen before. Next up, The Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Who?
I only knew about this film simply because of people reviewing it online. Yeah, so I'm assuming the marketing failed it. Budget was 45 million, only got a box office of 21. To me, I would say this one is the marketing. The marketing. When I say marketing, I mean it didn't get enough hype to reach a casual or general audience. Yeah, maybe like the diehards who are subscribed to that studio maybe saw the trailer, but the normies, it never got to that point where there was word of mouth or the word of mouth was not positive. Next up, Haunted Mansion. This one is easy to understand why it flopped. It's a remake, and people are tired of Disney remakes. That's what I would say. Whether you think it's a good remake or a bad remake is subjective, but I would say this one failed specifically because it's a Disney remake. People are tired of Disney remakes. Budget 150 million, box office of 117 million. So box office bomb. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, or as people would call it, the Diarrhea of Dysentery. Yeah, this one was a really bad film. Really bad. Really bad everything. Really bad everything. Really bad depiction of Indiana Jones. Really bad characters with Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Really bad story. People only said like the first 20 minutes was worth your time, then after that it's trash. Yeah, so budget was nearly 300 million and it only made 384 million. Not that I have to laugh. Not that I have to laugh. Also, Disney needs to stop doing this thing where they take an old character that you love and then just turn him into trash the way they did with Indiana Jones here. They're doing that with a lot of franchises like Obi-Wan, Star Wars, that one. Also, like, who asked for Indiana Jones 5? Like, for most people, Indiana Jones ended at 3. Next up, The Flash. This one failed simply because of Ezra Miller and all the evil things that he has done. So people were like, boycott The Flash to teach Warner Brothers a lesson. Probably it's the same thing that will happen to Aquaman. Like, I did a poll here on my channel and I asked people, are you going to go watch Aquaman 2? They were like, nope. Probably because of Amber Heard. So same case here. You don't like the actor or one of the main cast members, you boycott the film, basically say we're not going to go watch it. Budget for The Flash was 220 million. It only made 270 million. Yeah, that one you have to laugh at, especially because of the way Warner Brothers tried to protect Ezra Miller and act like. I remember they were not even letting him do interviews so that they can just, people can try and forget. It's like, forget what he did. Go watch our movie. Next up, Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken. I only know about this movie because people did movie reactions. I didn't know about it. The marketing didn't reach me. And me, I'm a dude who looks out for movies. The budget was 70 million. The box office was only 46 million. I don't know if that was a good movie, honestly, but the marketing did it dirty because it didn't reach me at all. The next one is one that I feel bad about because I did a reaction to it on this channel. Mission Impossible 7. Dead Reckoning Part 1. This one, why it flopped? Maybe it's because I think it was released around the same time that Oppenheimer, Barbieheimer, whatever was happening, probably. I would have to check why, but why this one flopped? Or maybe it's just franchise fatigue. When people see Mission Impossible 7, they're probably like, well, I haven't watched the first 6, so yeah, or maybe I watched the first 4, or maybe I forgot, So I know a lot of people might see 7 and be like, I didn't even follow the first 6, so might not want to watch that one. I feel bad for this one because this one was actually a good movie I enjoyed. It's not my best Mission Impossible. I think I would maybe make it my 4th. I think I liked Fallout more than this one. Yeah, so maybe I would say that's maybe my 4th favorite Mission Impossible. Did a reaction to it on this channel. Feel bad that it flopped. It had a budget of 291 million and it only made 567. I'm sure that's not more than that. One should have gone times 2.5. Times 2.5 its budget because it's a big franchise and it didn't go very far. Next up has to be Elemental. This one I know why it failed. Generic movie, generic story. A lot of people liked it, me I didn't. I just thought that it was below Pixar's storytelling level. Budget was 200 million, only made 496 million. This one should have done at times 2.5 because it's a big company. It should have done times 2.5. So if it was a small indie studio and it made 496, I would have been like, yay. But this one should have made times 2.5, in my opinion. If I'm wrong with any of my estimates, you can feel free to comment below, but I think that this one was a flop in terms of that. Big releases should make times 2.5. Also, they have bigger marketing. So that's why I feel like they should make times 2.5. Next up, the worst offender of them all, The Little Mermaid 2023. The remake that ruins the original with its bad CGI and bad music.
Remember the swamp? Remember my song in the swamp when I was like,
anyway, yeah, budget was 297 million, only made 569. This one should have done at times 2.5. I mean, it's The Little Mermaid. In fact, it should have done times 3, in my opinion, because yeah, big actor, big actress, big IP, big company, but bomb. Next up, Fast X. Yeah, this one is easy. If you watched Fast 9, there's a high chance you didn't want to watch Fast 10. Fast 9 was so bad with its detachment from reality and them going into space. Maybe the people who went to watch it just went to watch it because it was just, you know, we expect bombastic action, but at this point, the Fast and the Furious franchise has become a parody, in my opinion. A budget 340 million, box office was only 714. This one should have done at times 2.5 because it's a big franchise with big actors. So yeah, I mean, this one is franchise fatigue. Also, if you watch Fast 9, you don't want to watch Fast 10. Also, word of mouth would have told you that Fast 10 is actually like a part 1. The movie doesn't end. It has like a continuation that maybe will finalize the story. So that one probably kept a lot of people away or something. And next up has to be Dungeons and Dragons, a movie that I actually liked. Problem with this movie is that, let's be real, it's like a low budget Lord of the Rings. I know someone will come for me and be like, how dare you even compare D&D with the Lord of the Rings, but I mean, Dungeons and Dragons, if you've watched Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings, why would you go to the cinema to go watch this unless you're a die-hard D&D fan? What does this movie offer that you haven't seen before? You know, what does it offer that maybe Harry Potter or Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings doesn't offer? Budget was 150 million, box office was only 280. It didn't even make double. But when I watched it, I enjoyed it. I just didn't feel like it brought anything new or is so unique that I will remember it way after watching. Next up, Marvel, another Marvel bomb, Ant-Man Quantumania. Yeah, if I was to summarize why this movie is ass, I would summarize it by saying Kang said that he had once beaten Thor, like a variant of Thor, and then he ends up being defeated by Ant-Man. Like, what? No, even to make it worse, he ends up getting beaten by ants. Imagine saying that you killed the god of thunder and then you end up being defeated by ants. The writing in that movie was atrocious. The budget was 200 mil. The box office was only 476. That one should have done at times 2.5 because it's Disney, it's Marvel. Yeah, I mean, something like Marvel should do at times 3 of its original budget to make back its money. And then we have SHAZAM, Fury of the Gods, a movie that I fell asleep halfway through.
I'm an idiot.
Also, I was never crazy about the first film. You can list your reasons why SHAZAM didn't do well. Me, I just didn't see the hype for it. Like, to me, I wasn't crazy about the first film, so why would I be crazy about the second? The budget is 125 million, only made 133 million. And then also it has that woman, you know who I'm referring to, Rachel Zegler. Rachel Zegler is in this film. Rachel Zegler, the woman who once your movie is attached to, it just flops. Speaking of Rachel Zegler flopping, Hunger Games 2023. I know some people will say this is not a flop, but to me it is because it didn't have favorable word of mouth, it didn't have that much hype. I can't compare Hunger Games hype to like Godzilla hype. Godzilla hype is insane. But Hunger Games hype, the budget was 100 mil. The box office is 292. This one should have done at times 3. Should have done at times 3 because it's a big franchise with a notoriously famous actor, infamous actor. So one should have done at times 3 in my opinion. Anyway, those are the box office bombs for this year. Tell me the one that you think. I feel bad that Mission Impossible flopped. That is one that I feel really bad for in this list. Tell me you can give me your own reasons why they flopped. Yeah, but like I noticed 4 reasons. Either you didn't like the actor in the lead, like Flash, yeah, and probably Aquaman 2 will flop. Are tired of remakes like Little Mermaid and Haunted Mansion. There's franchise fatigue like Fast X and maybe even Mission Impossible, and maybe the marketing was ass. Yeah. And also when I say franchise fatigue, add bad writing, because even if your franchise is long, if the movies keep getting better or the writing keeps getting better, people will go and watch. Yeah, the hype and word of mouth will go. But if your franchise is getting longer and the writing is getting worse, like Fast and the Furious. Anyway, that's my list. Thanks so much for watching. I'll leave some of those movies that I reacted to or reviewed here. I'll see you in the next one.